What if something happening inside your body, right at the peak of pleasure, could quietly leave behind pressure, tension, and unanswered signals you never notice? Deep inside the male body, at the exact moment of intense arousal, a silent chain reaction begins. Nerve signals fire rapidly toward the brain, like urgent electrical messages announcing that the body is reaching its peak. And in response, the brain takes control, orchestrating a precise sequence by sending commands to the reproductive muscles, preparing them to push semen outward in a coordinated release. But just before that final moment, everything is still building, everything is still tightening. And that's where the story truly begins, because this is only the first layer of what's happening beneath the surface. As arousal intensifies, blood flow increases dramatically toward the testicles and the prostate, creating a state of natural congestion that prepares the body for ejaculation. And under normal circumstances, this pressure is released through muscle contractions that expel the fluid. But when ejaculation is intentionally stopped, that built-up pressure doesn't simply disappear, it remains, lingering in the tissues, creating a sensation that can feel like heaviness, tightness, or even discomfort. In the testicles, sometimes extending as a subtle pressure into the lower abdomen or the lower back, and yet, the body stays in that suspended state, as if waiting for a conclusion that never comes. But this is only the second revelation, and what follows is even more unsettling. Because when this situation repeats itself over time, the body may continue entering this cycle of buildup without release, and that lingering congestion can lead to recurring sensations of discomfort for some individuals, not as a permanent damage, but as a temporary imbalance between preparation and completion, where the system initiates a process but doesn't fully finish it, leaving behind signals that the body must gradually resolve on its own. And in that unresolved state, the experience becomes not just physical, but also deeply linked to internal regulation. And this is where things take an even deeper turn. During intense arousal, the brain increases the release of dopamine, the chemical associated with pleasure, motivation, and reward, creating a powerful sensation of anticipation and satisfaction. But when the process is interrupted repeatedly, the brain still experiences the rise of this chemical surge without the usual completion of the cycle, leaving a lingering state of stimulation that doesn't fully settle, as if the system remains partially activated, waiting for closure that never fully arrives. And this subtle imbalance can reshape how the body experiences that moment over time. But the most important part is still ahead, because what all of this reveals is not a hidden danger or a dramatic internal failure, but something more precise and more fascinating. The human body is designed for balance, for cycles that begin and end, for signals that rise and resolve. And when that cycle is interrupted, the body adapts, it compensates, it absorbs the tension, but it also remembers the pattern, storing the experience in both physical sensation and neurological response, showing that even the smallest interruption in a natural process can leave behind echoes that are felt, even if they are not always seen, and that final realization changes everything. So the real truth is this: what happens in that moment isn't just about stopping a physical action. It's about interrupting a complete biological sequence that the body was already committed to finishing. And in doing so, it reveals just how precise, how interconnected, and how sensitive the human system truly is. And once you understand that, you begin to see that even the smallest decisions inside your body can have effects that are far more complex than they appear, and that awareness might be the most powerful discovery of all. In summary, when a man reaches intense arousal, the body enters a highly coordinated biological process where the brain sends rapid signals to prepare for ejaculation, triggering muscle activity and increasing blood flow to the reproductive organs, especially the testicles and prostate. This rise in blood flow creates a natural state of congestion that is normally resolved through ejaculation, allowing the body to release built-up pressure and complete the cycle. However, when ejaculation is intentionally prevented, this process is interrupted, leaving the body in a temporary state of tension where the blood remains pooled in these areas, which can lead to sensations of heaviness, discomfort, or mild pain in the testicles, sometimes extending to the lower abdomen or lower back. Over time, if this pattern is repeated, the body may continue to experience cycles of buildup without full release, resulting in recurring discomfort for some individuals, not as a permanent condition, but as a temporary imbalance in the body's normal functioning. At the same time, during arousal, the brain increases the release of dopamine, the chemical responsible for pleasure and reward, creating a strong sense of anticipation. When the process is interrupted, this chemical response still occurs, but without the usual completion of the cycle, leaving the body in a partially stimulated state that may feel unresolved. Ultimately, this situation highlights how the body is designed to follow complete biological cycles, where processes begin, build, and naturally resolve. Interrupting this sequence does not necessarily cause serious harm, but it can create temporary physical sensations and subtle internal imbalances, showing that even small disruptions in natural processes can lead to noticeable effects within the body.